inside a dense forest, a wild boar roamed freely, searching for food among the fallen leaves. The forest was calm that morning. Birds chirped, the wind whispered through the tall trees, and sunlight filtered softly through the canopy. But suddenly, the peace was shattered by a loud, panicked squeal. The boar had unknowingly disturbed a massive beehive hanging from an old tree. Within seconds, a dark, angry cloud of bees swarmed out, buzzing furiously and attacking the frightened animal. The wild boar ran in circles, trying to escape, but the relentless bees followed, stinging its face and body. Nearby, forest rangers who were on patrol heard the distressed cries. They quickly realized something was wrong and rushed toward the sound. As they approached, they saw the poor animal surrounded by thousands of bees, desperately trying to escape the deadly swarm. The rangers immediately called for the rescue team. Within minutes, the rescue team arrived, wearing protective suits and carrying smoke canisters. They knew that smoke could calm the bees. Carefully, they surrounded the area and started releasing gentle clouds of smoke around the tree and the terrified boar. Gradually, the swarm began to thin out, retreating back toward the hive. Once the bees settled, the team moved in quickly. The wild boar was exhausted, its skin swollen from stings and covered in mud. The rescuers gently approached it, speaking in calm tones to reduce its fear. With great care, they tranquilized the animal for a few minutes to safely remove the remaining bees and apply medicine to its wounds. After the treatment, the team transported the boar to the nearby wildlife rescue center. There, veterinarians examined it thoroughly, cleaned its wounds, and gave it soothing ointments and fluids to help it recover from dehydration and stress. Over the next few days, the wild boar began to regain its strength. It started eating again and even tried to dig the ground playfully, a sign that it was feeling better. When it was finally ready, the team released it back into the same forest, far away from the dangerous hive. As it ran back into the wild, the rangers and rescue team smiled with relief. Another life had been saved, a reminder that even in the harshness of nature, compassion and teamwork can make all the difference. Moral: every creature, big or small, deserves a chance to live free and safe. The courage and quick action of the rescue team turned a moment of terror into a story of hope. A few days after the rescue, the forest seemed peaceful again, but the rescue team decided to monitor the area to ensure no other animals faced the same danger. The giant beehive that had caused the chaos was still there, and the rangers wanted to relocate it safely without harming the bees. Early one morning, the team returned with wildlife experts and a beekeeper. The goal was to move the hive deeper into the forest, far away from the animal pathways. Using protective suits and special equipment, they began the delicate operation. The beekeeper used smoke to calm the bees, while others carefully detached the hive from the old tree. It was a risky task. One wrong move could trigger another aggressive swarm. But the team's experience and coordination paid off. Within an hour, the hive was successfully relocated to a safe zone where the bees could continue their natural role without threatening the animals nearby. Meanwhile, at the wildlife center, the rescued wild boar, affectionately named Rambo by the staff, was showing remarkable recovery. The veterinarians noticed that his energy had returned, and his wounds were healing faster than expected. The team provided him with fruits, vegetables, and clean water daily. Rambo had become a favorite among the staff, who often visited him to check his progress. One afternoon, the head ranger visited the center to see the boar. As he stood by the enclosure, Rambo looked up and snorted softly, as if recognizing his rescuer. The ranger smiled. Moments like this made their work worthwhile. He decided that once Rambo was completely healthy, he would personally oversee his release back into the forest. Finally, the big day arrived. The team loaded Rambo into a special transport cage and drove him back to his home territory. When they opened the gate, he stepped out cautiously, sniffing the familiar air. Then, with a burst of energy, he sprinted into the trees, disappearing into the green wilderness. The rescue team clapped and cheered. It was a victory not just for them, but for nature itself. Weeks later, camera traps set up in the area captured images of Rambo living freely again, strong, healthy, and thriving. The forest had returned to harmony, and the bees continued their work peacefully in their new home. The story of Rambo spread across the region, inspiring people to care more about wildlife and respect the delicate balance of nature. The rescue team was praised for their bravery and compassion. For them, it wasn't about fame, it was about saving lives, one creature at a time.